Hello, my name's Sam Clare. I'm Head of Psychology here at Hymers College. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what studying psychology involves, what it entails, what the examination process is like, and what it can do in terms of your career prospects, university prospects, and where it can take you from there. It's a 2-year A-level course. We study with the Oxford and Cambridge board. We chose this course because it's a very varied course. It looks at a number of different aspects of psychology, including the disciplines of social psychology, developmental psychology, cognitive psychology, which we study in our first year. We break that down into a number of different aspects. So we look at the research elements of psychology, including how psychologists at university conduct research and do research, complete experiments, questionnaires, how they gather the information scientifically. Then we look at how that kind of psychology can be applied out there in the real world. In our second year, we look specifically in areas like mental health, sports psychology, environmental psychology, and students can have a choice of the subject areas that they want to take. There's 4 areas and they can choose 2 of those areas. So the examination consists of 3 exams at the end of the second year. These are 2-hour exams that are each worth 30 or 35% of the final grade. And they are broken down into the research areas. So all the scientific criteria for psychology, how we research psychology, how we put the research together and where we go with the data that we collect. Then we look at a group of classical psychology case studies and more contemporary case studies, and we compare how psychology has changed over the decades and over the years. And finally, we apply that in our second year in our third module to how we can take psychology and use it usefully out there in the world of work, in the world of sport, in the world of clinical help for people with mental illnesses. So it's a real mixed bag of opportunities and study that we do. Along the way, students get a chance to design, conduct and take part in their own experiments. So they get to experiment on their peers and teachers and anybody who's willing to take part. And they do that in a number of ways, through questionnaires or experiments they've created. And we will look at the results and we'll correlate the results in the data that we get and look at how that is psychology in practice. We also get to listen to keynote speakers, people who are using psychology in everyday life, come in to talk to us and explain to us how psychology is absolutely valid in what we're doing, and no more so than currently at the moment in the situation we find ourselves. Suddenly psychologists are finding that they are very much in demand. Finally, we bring that all together and evaluate and assess the kind of materials that are out there for psychology. We learn to be analytical and critical, and we look at psychology in the real world and how that is being effective or not, as the case may be. As I've said, the exams at the end of the 2 years, there's 3 separate exams that students sit, and we will continually revisit the content of those exams, making sure that they're prepared and ready. So psychology is a very varied subject to study. It can take you to many, many different places, as you'll discover during the course. In terms of university, it's an absolute key skill. It will help you develop research skills, essay skills, mathematical skills, and universities absolutely love the variety that psychology brings. So whether you're thinking of being a medic or an accountant, it can be something that is very, very useful to you. Scientific or not, there is something for everybody in psychology, and I urge you to have a good look. Come and talk to me and decide if it's something that you feel you can do.